In this week's City Beat, we meet two colleagues who have been working alongside one another for years, but today they share a connection that will last a lifetime.
When the doctor told me that my kidneys had failed, he broke it in a way where he said, your test results aren't compatible with life. You should be dead right now. It's very, very hard for me to even get through a day of work. I get there, my body is just, aching. My body's cold and I'm nauseous all the time. I can't sleep more than an hour and a half to 2 hours increments at a time. And knowing that you still have to pick yourself up every day and go to work to take care of your family and stay on insurance. It's tough. It's tough. It's a struggle. I pretty much had to hit my wit's end, and when Keith stepped forward, just the relief that all that goes away is
Getting his leaf?
is more relief than you can even imagine.
I heard I'm gonna get some really good money. Okay, let's do it. We'll see you in a bit. Okay, bye guys. Bye. Thank you.
LA Times columnist Nita Lelyveld wrote about their special bond. This touched my heart in so many ways. Nita, explain who Ben and Keith are and what happened to them.
Ben Nguyen and Keith Michaelis both work together at Disney in Glendale. They work on video games for Disney movies, and they've worked together for a number of years, and a lot of things were going on in both of their lives in recent years. Ben has been on dialysis for the past 4 years and kidney failure and getting weaker and weaker over time. And when Keith first learned about Ben being sick, he was going through his own very difficult time because his daughter, Noah Bella Michaelis, she was born with congenital heart defects, and she had many, many operations during her life. She actually died from complications in surgery at the age of 13, just over 2 years ago. So when Keith first started thinking about Ben's predicament and how ill he was and what he might be able to do to help, he wasn't sure he could help.
And Ben brought his child into the office, and that galvanized Keith and his wife into making this very important decision to donate his own kidney.
Right. Keith had just come back from a leave of absence after his daughter died, and he saw Ben moving very slowly across the office. And then Ben brought his son Garrett in. Garrett's 9 years old. And Keith watched them together. He'd seen Garrett in the office many times growing up, and he thought, I want this boy to have a father. I want this father to be with his son.
He talked about how excited he was, Keith, when he found out that he was a match.
Thrilled. He said it was just a moment of great elation, that it was one of the happiest moments in his life, akin to getting married and the birth of his children.
And I just want to underscore that these are not people who were best friends. The wives didn't even meet until they went to the hospital for these two major surgeries, right?
That's right. They were friendly in the office. They didn't socialize outside of work. They were office friends.
And so tell me the status of Ben's health now. Where are we?
Keith has gone home, and he's doing pretty well. He's got a little bit of a sore abdomen that happens after major surgery,
yes.
Donating a kidney. But he looks pretty good. And Ben, it's a process. He's still at Cedars, and they're working on getting him up and rolling, and it may take a little time.
Well, we're all wishing them both well. And this is such a perfect example, Nita, of what you wanted to do with these columns, right?
Yeah, I want to talk about the sorts of things we think about in our everyday lives. And for me, this brought up so many issues, watching this awesome act of
human kindness.
Human kindness. And then, I couldn't help but think to myself, in so many much smaller circumstances, not major. I'm not talking about giving an organ from your body, which is a great thing to do, but But in much smaller circumstances, I know that I often fall short. Sometimes somebody needs something and I don't notice, or I don't do anything, or I don't do enough. And I just have been thinking about it ever since I met these two people.
Well, it's a wonderful story, and it really is about, again, what you wanted to do with the City Beat columns is connect us, and you're connecting us. And people can connect with you. Your email is?
citybeat@latimes.com, and I love to hear from people.
All over the Southland, not just LA.
Absolutely.
All right. Look for Nita's column online at latimes.com.